So it's interesting today. I went to a place called Tiger Cave Temple, and it was one of those rare occasions where you find people inadvertently entered into an average Joe fitness test, because this place was, the view at the top was great, and everyone knew the view at the top was going to be phenomenal. So people who might not ordinarily embark in something physical felt compelled to do so. And this place was, it's no joke, it was, some steps were very steep, and there were around over 1,200 steps. And people obviously thought, well, 1,200 steps, yeah, maybe it's not so bad. We'll give it a go. The view should be worth it. Right, so we are at Tiger Cave Temple. Oh, sweat. And we're at 583, so we're about halfway. Sorry, 783. Over halfway. But people still want to drop off.
But we're not.
We will surrender. Jen and I were off like a shot, and it was hard. I'm not going to make light of it. It was tough. You started off, and you keep checking your heart rate, and it's like it's getting up there. What we noticed is, after about 400 steps, people start dropping off, and then some of the other people started dropping off, and then you see people stopping. Saw people literally throwing up close to the top at around about the 800 step mark. People stopping, sat down, drenched in sweat. And to the handful of people that made it, I'm not sure what the percentages of people who actually make it to the top are, but it was, a scene of carnage. People dripping in sweat, people lying on their backs, people hunched over, people fanning themselves. I wonder if actually anyone's died at the top, I don't know. But it was one of those rare occasions, like I say, it's like a real life fitness test. And it's in those situations that you really notice the benefits of being fit and healthy. Because we got up to the top, it took maybe a couple of minutes to get ourselves together. And we had a look around, enjoyed, and then it was like, all right, let's get back down there. But for some people, it was like literally like climbing a mountain. And it always makes me think we live in this kind of safe world where everything is good, everything is hunky-dory. We don't generally need to be physically active most of the time because life is built around making things easy for ourselves. But when we enter something like this, as a direct comparison to what would happen in a real situation where health and fitness are required. Currently, I'm in Krabi in Thailand, and this was one of the places I think that was hit by the big tsunami, the Boxing Day tsunami. And as you walk around, there are tsunami meeting points. If something happens, this is where you head up, because it's quite a flat place and it's surrounded by mountains. They're on Railay Beach. And if something really happened, there was a tsunami warning. As far as I'm concerned, you would have to literally get moving. You would have to sprint and run to get to this place because it's not particularly close where we are. And then when you get there, you have I think it was like 150 meter walk from where we are, and then it's a vertical climb. You've got to literally climb up, and there's ropes there for you to do it because it's the highest point quickly that you can get to. So if you're not fit, you're not active, I think a lot of people, just as they got to the steps, they looked up, because don't forget, the people who walk in the steps are the people who said, what, I might be able to manage this. There's probably a lot of people who just looked and said, forget it, I'm not doing it. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to be or ever be one of those people who would just lay down and take it. I want to be the person who's there fighting tooth and nail to make it up there. I want to be first up the mountain, save other people and help other people, as opposed to being a burden to other people. So it's a real life lesson about health and fitness and how you really need, as far as I'm concerned, to be prepared, expect the worst and hope for the best. In Dubai at the minute, there were huge floods. Thankfully, damage was the worst of it. I don't think anyone lost their lives. But if this was a different kind of situation, building collapse, earthquake, other kind of natural disasters, maybe some kind of, horrendous terrorist incident wherever you might live in the world, you want to be fast, you want to be able to move, you want to be able to evacuate, you want to be able to climb. and you want to be able to traverse and lift. And these are the things that are going to keep you alive. Whereas other unfortunate people are going to eat themselves into their own grave.